Broncos country, get ready because something gigantic just happened that's going to completely change the future of our defense. What you're about to hear will make any true Denver Broncos fan jump out of their chair. We're talking about a contract extension that breaks all franchise records and positions our pass rusher as one of the most valuable pieces in the entire NFL. But before I reveal the numbers that are going to leave you speechless, tell me something. Do you believe the front office finally understands what it means to build a dynasty? Because the move that just went down proves that the Broncos administration isn't playing around with making a competitive team anymore. They're building an empire. What happened today will echo through the halls of Dove Valley for many years to come. And you, Denver Broncos family, are the first people to know all the details of this negotiation that literally changed the game for our franchise. Stay until the end because I'm going to explain exactly how this impacts our pursuit of the title and why this could be the smartest move we've seen in Denver in recent years. Folks, Nick Bonitto just signed a 4-year contract extension worth $106 million with the Denver Broncos. That's right, $106 million. And there's more. The deal can reach up to $120 million with incentives. Bonitto just became the highest-paid defensive player in our franchise. Let's put these numbers in perspective, Broncos country. $70 million guaranteed. This means our administration doesn't just believe in Bonitto's talent. They have absolute certainty that he's a fundamental piece for our future. And you know what this means? It means we finally have an administration that truly understands football. Remember when some fans were nervous thinking we were going to lose our best pass rusher? Forget that worry. General Manager George Paton sent a clear message to the entire league. The Denver Broncos don't let special talents get away, and Bonitto is exactly that. A special talent. Since arriving as our second-round draft pick in 2022, Bonitto has been climbing levels like few players can do. Last season, he recorded 13.5 sacks, establishing himself as one of the biggest pass rush threats in the entire AFC West. But numbers don't tell the complete story of his influence on the field. Bonitto isn't just a quarterback. Hunter. He's a player who changes opponents' offensive rhythm. When teams know they have to deal with him, they need to keep tight ends and running backs to help with protection. This means fewer options in the attack, more limited routes, and more opportunities for our secondary to make plays. And speaking of secondary, imagine how Pat Surtain II must be feeling now. Having an elite pass rusher like Bonitto means opposing quarterbacks will have less time in the pocket to find gaps in coverage. It's a perfect synergy between front seven and defensive backs that can take our defense to a completely different level. But let's talk about what this contract really represents for Broncos culture. For years, our franchise was seen as a place where special talents came to shine and then left to seek bigger contracts with other teams. That's over. With this extension, we're sending a message to the entire NFL. Denver is where great players come to build legendary careers. Broncos country, do you realize the perfect timing of this extension? We're on the eve of a new season with a young quarterback in development, a defense that was already solid, and now with our biggest defensive star guaranteed for the coming years. This is high-level strategic planning, and there's a detail that many people aren't noticing. Bonitto is still only 26 years old. This means we're talking about the best years of his career. Pass rushers typically peak between 26 and 30 years old, so we're literally paying for the most productive period he can have as a professional player. Compare this to other pass rushers who signed similar contracts recently. We're talking about players like Jonathan Greenard, who went to the Falcons, and Josh Sweat, who renewed with the Eagles. All these contracts were around $22 to $24 million per year. Bonitto got about $26.5 million annually, which shows how much our administration values his impact. But you want to know what's the most exciting part of all this? It's that this extension completely frees up our cap space to focus on other team needs. We won't have to spend the entire offseason worried about whether we can keep our best pass rusher. This peace of mind allows the front office to concentrate on other pieces of the puzzle. If you're true Broncos country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any play of our journey to the playoffs. Because with Bonitto guaranteed for this next few years, you can be sure you'll have a lot to celebrate. Now, let's analyze how this extension directly impacts our defensive strategy. With Bonitto as the pass rush anchor for the next few years, the defensive coordinator can design more aggressive schemes, knowing he has a constant threat coming from the edge. This means more creative blitzes, more defensive line rotations, and more constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And we can't forget the psychological impact this has in the locker room. When a team shows it's willing to invest heavily in its best players, it creates a culture of excellence. Other athletes see that effort and performance are recognized and rewarded. This elevates the competitive level of the entire roster. Speaking of roster, imagine how the other pass rushers on the team are feeling now. Players like Baron Browning and Jonathan Cooper will have even more motivation to elevate their own level, knowing they're part of a group the organization considers elite. This creates healthy internal competition that only benefits our on-field performance. But there's a strategic issue that many analysts aren't commenting on. This extension also serves as a message to future free agents. When quality players are choosing where to sign, they look at teams that value and retain talent. Denver just positioned itself as a premium destination for athletes who want to build long-term careers. And let's be honest about one thing, Denver. Broncos family. This type of move is exactly what we needed to see since Pat Bowlen is no longer with us. For years we had administrations that seemed lost, making questionable moves and wasting talent. With George Paton in command, we finally have someone who understands how to build a championship team. Bonitto's extension also has perfect timing, considering our quarterback's development. Having an elite defense is fundamental when you're developing a young player at the most important position on the team. A defense that can keep games competitive gives more opportunities for the offense to find its rhythm without the pressure of having to score points on every possession. Do you remember how our defense saved games last season while our offense was still adjusting? With Bonitto guaranteed for the next few years, we can expect this trend to continue, providing stability for the entire team while other pieces develop. But don't think this extension means we're going to relax in the draft or free agency. Actually, it's the opposite. Having a central piece like Bonitto guaranteed allows us to seek complementary players who further enhance his talent. We can focus on finding another pass rusher to form a lethal duo, or invest in a linebacker who covers the middle of the field better. And there's something I need to mention about Bonitto's own mentality. In all interviews, he demonstrates genuine commitment to Broncos culture. He's not here just for the money. He wants to be part of something special. This type of leadership is contagious and elevates the level of everyone around him. The extension also sends a message to our division. The Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers now know they'll have to deal with Bonitto twice a year for the next few years. This completely changes these teams' offensive planning when facing Denver. They'll have to dedicate extra resources to neutralize our pressure, which opens opportunities for other parts of our defense to shine. Imagine Patrick Mahomes having to worry about Bonitto coming at him at least twice per season for the next 4 years. That's the kind of psychological pressure that can change the course of important games. Elite pass rushers have this unique ability to be in opposing quarterbacks' heads even before the snap Broncos country. This contract also represents an important philosophical change in our organization. For a long time, Denver was seen as a team that depended too much on expensive veterans coming from other places. Now we're developing and retaining our own talents. Bonitto is a product of our draft and development system, and keeping him shows we know how to recognize and value what we've built internally, and we can't ignore the positive financial impact this has long term. Yes, we're paying a lot of money for Bonitto, but we're doing it before he reaches even. More impressive numbers. If he continues evolving at his current pace, this contract might look like a bargain in 2 years. Look at the example of other pass rushers who signed similar extensions and then elevated their level even more. When you have a young, talented, and motivated player, investing in him early almost always pays off. It's better to pay for potential than wait and have to pay for already consolidated history. Another thing that impresses me about this negotiation is how it was conducted discreetly and professionally. We didn't have public drama. We didn't have embarrassing leaks to the press. We didn't have the player or his representatives pressuring through the media. It was a negotiation between professionals who reached an agreement beneficial to all parties. This shows maturity from both our administration and Bonitto himself and his team. In an era where we see so many contract dramas unfolding publicly, it's refreshing to see a situation resolved elegantly and efficiently. To conclude, Denver Broncos family, Bonitto's extension is much more than an individual contract. It's a declaration of intent from our organization. It's an investment in the future. It's a commitment to excellence. And it's a clear sign that the Denver Broncos are serious about returning to the top of the NFL. With Bonitto anchoring our defense for the next few years, we have a solid foundation to build something special. Now it's time to support our team, attend games, make noise at Empower Field, and show the entire league that Broncos country is back. So, Broncos country, what did you think of this mega extension? Do you think it was the right amount? Are you excited to see Bonitto in orange and blue for the next few years? Comment below with your expectations. Hit the like button if you're as pumped as I am. Share with all your Denver Broncos family friends. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any analysis of our moves toward the title. Until the next video, and bring on the 2025 season. Go Broncos!